CFG GameCast, episode number 117, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and Sundays. Oh, not Saturdays, but Fridays. Sorry. I'm getting it flubbed again, but we're still going. And we release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love. Give us a comment, a like, a follow, what have you on any podcast service out there, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
Hey, man. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. You missed me I had the procedure on my back. I woke up. I was Looney Tunes.
Nice.
Dust was laughing at me in the car ride. Pretty good. I can't crack my neck, though. And that kind of is irritating me.
You know, I've never been able to crack my neck, so I don't even know
really?
how that feels. I've never been able to.
Popped, but you know, it's it's when it feels like it needs to be cracked. I can't. But they burned off the nerves in the right side of my C3, C4, C5.
Oh, wow.
And then they're going to do it on
painful.
the other side. I was asleep for it this time, but I woke up and it did hurt. But yeah, the first 48 hours was a little bumpy. It felt better that night, but then that week it kind of felt like I got kicked by a horse and I was like sore, like a car accident almost. But it's feeling better now. It just sucks because Vegas usually turns wintry the night of Halloween, and we just got winter, so everyone's not feeling great. So
came super late.
We had an Indian summer.
Mm-hmm.
If it feels like someone forgot to turn on, it's like, oh wait, we forgot to turn the dial to winter. But just a month later, it's like, oh, here you go. Let's move this up to the max. That's good. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. But overall, though, I mean, like you said, you're in the healing process right now. But Are you feeling a lot better than what you were prior to the surgery, though? Like, I mean, like, because you were having issues, like overall, right? Like, you're still having those kind of issues.
Those nerves were essentially running through like the muscle that attaches from your shoulder to your back. And that would get so balled up that I would cry at night because it hurt so bad. And I haven't noticed it at all since I've had it.
Okay.
So it doesn't feel like, it still feels tight, but I can't feel it because there's no nerve ending. So that's fun.
It feels like it's something like that. Like if they're just burning off the nerve endings, it feels like there might be an issue, but they're like telling you, we're just going to make you just feel comfortable and don't worry about whatever's happening. But anyways,
well, after the fact, he was like, yeah, we can only do this a couple times and they grow back within about 6 months to a year. I was like, oh, I got 2 months on you then probably.
It's only temporary?
It's only temporary.
Oh, that sucks. You have to go through all that again.
So I've been getting Toradol shots and stuff every time I'm in office. So,
man, that is crazy.
Being a robot, you know? What can I say?
Right.
But you know who's not a robot?
Who?
I know who it is. His name is
the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What is going on, my dude?
You guys don't know if I'm a Cylon. Only I know.
A Cylon? What's a Cylon?
Right. That's right.
Is that Battlestar Galactica?
You know what it is. You already know what it is. Absolutely.
I've never watched any Battlestar Galactica.
I am so disappointed in you both. You guys would absolutely love it. For sci-fi lovers, please at least watch the newer one that came out. It is an absolute masterpiece of TV. I'll tell you that straight up. That is one of my all-time favorite. I think it's one of the best shows of all time.
Is it better than the Orville? I'm just kidding.
I'll watch a little bit of that.
Yes, I did. I mean, I will watch it. It's still on my, like, I'm on this kick, right? Okay. I'm on the kick right now. I'm watching Star Trek Next Generation to prove Lex wrong. I'm at the last season.
Wow.
Shut your mouth.
I'm on the last season.
I'm out.
On it.
Adam,
what?
get
Come
in
on. Here. Yes, I'm on the last season, but we'll see. But anyways, it's crazy. So what have you been up to, dude?
Yeah, no. So just busy with work and stuff like that. We said here a week or so ago, I recently beat Halo Combat Evolved, so I'm ready to move on to Halo 2. I'm excited. That was a solid story. I've been enjoying Infinite a lot. Like they did a really, really good job with Infinite. So, I'm just enjoying playing that and chilling out. Other than that, yeah, I just been keeping it pretty chill.
So campaign came out for Halo this week, right?
Mm.
So overall, like, how does the feel of it compared to like the older ones? Is this like an open world? Is this more open world? Like what's so good about this one?
I have not, I believe it is open world. I'm staying away from watching anything campaign just because of spoilers, because I'm playing through it. So I couldn't tell you exactly what, I mean, graphically, it looks amazing.
Right.
So, and the gunplay in it is nice. So it's just good. And again, if it's a multiplayer I'm only speaking to the multiplayer part of it. But it feels anybody can go in and it'll feel like riding a bike playing if you've played any kind of shooter ever. So it's kind of noobs and people that have played, you can get your competitive itch on ranked. But yeah, I highly recommend it. They're doing amazing things with that multiplayer, and I've only heard good things about the campaign.
Okay, so you're basically so that's fine. That's cool. So you just played the multiplayer, but you haven't played the anything else other than that.
No,
okay.
No. I'll wait until I get there through my playthrough of the series.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah, I'm seeing inside the chat with G Knight saying that Next Generation is one of my favorite series of all time. To Star Trek Next Generation's credit, it is not like I hate it. If I hated it, I would not have watched 7 seasons of it. I will say that. Our argument between Lex and my argument is that she prefers Picard and I prefer Cisco. And I'm saying no one can touch Bald Cisco because Bald Cisco is virtually undefeated. like you cannot mess with that man at all. You can't touch him. And so I'm watching all of Next Generation just so I can say I watched it. To see if I liked it, and I'm still with it though right now because like one thing like it is a good watch, but some of these things overall I don't like these one episode one and dones, and they have a ton of it on Next Generation. That's my biggest issue.
I wish you had watched it and then also watched the movies in subsequent order as they came out with the series because I feel like that gives you more of a good grasp of everything. But also, Dust said we can get another cat if we name it Miles O'Brien, and I'm all for it. So I was working, man, it's Starfleet. There you go.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, and here's the thing, though. Overall, though, like I think that, like when you have an episode of like the Enterprise has complete engine failure. And like, we don't know how we're going to survive. And then in 5 minutes, they figure it out. And then you just see them just totally giant time skip later on at the end. Is like, well, we were so close dying like forever in this one random part of the space. And then they're like, yeah, good thing we did this. And then it's just the ending credit roll scenes. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? I couldn't stand. Yeah, can't stand those. So the one thing with Deep Space Nine is that it's episodic. It tells a bigger story throughout its season, and that's what I think that's what's missing in Next Generation. So we can discuss this more on our next Star Trek podcast on the towards this, but like for me, I've been busy. I just got back from like a convention I went to last week. I really want to give a shout out to Zakar Datal to replace that took my place. And it was okay. It was all right. So I'm just glad to be back. Just making sure, just getting some setups, taking care of some stuff on the back end for the most part. I didn't play anything except for Final Fantasy 14. I was going hard on the Endwalker.
Did you get it?
Yeah, dude. I love that story is just, you can't it's weird to say I'm buying an MMO to play the story for it. And it is a very good story. Like Final Fantasy knows what to do when they talk about the story, and it just closes. It does a good job, closing everything up. Like it would have been cool if World of Warcraft had the 19 different expansions and stuff all had this, it all came together somehow instead of just feeling like it's just, oh, here's some extra crap, have at it. No, Final Fantasy just brings it all to perspective. Everything from the first day that you played that game in the first main storyline. And it's just an incredible experience. So I would definitely urge you, because it took me 5 years to finally just sit down and play Final Fantasy 14, and I've only played Final Fantasy 14 in only 3 months. That's all. It's only taken me. And but no, I am definitely loving that game.
You went hard in the paint too, though. You went hard in the paint.
Yeah, I did. I went pretty. I did go pretty hardcore. Well, dude, I'm not gonna lie though, dude. It's just that when you saw the list of what you had to do, when I saw the list of what you had to do just to get to each of these expansions, and then what they said, and the stuff that they didn't tell you, there's like, oh hey, you beat the game, oh you beat the expansion, oh but you have to do the patch update quest too, which is 5 parts beyond that. It was it's a lot of work, and I was just like, okay, I'm going for the acceptance, because all I wanted was the car from Final Fantasy 15 in this, so I did. So I did it. I just did all of it. I was like, okay, let's finish this stuff up. So no, it was a very good experience. I'm not denying it. It's definitely really, really good. Sounds like erotic paints. Well, that's wrong. Yeah, but anyways, we're going to be talking about. I know you don't want to start geeking out with us with Star Trek and some Final Fantasy 14 tips and tricks. So let's go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic or discussion from the previous week. The topic would or could be something that happened in the gaming industry itself, or something that happened in the game, individual game. And we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitch, to be a part of the conversation. So if there is something that you want to chime in about, we would love for you to type it inside the chat and have it, and we would like to discuss it with you. So let's get this party started, and we're going to do something a little different. This is our end of year. This is our last episode of 2021. So every year we usually do a special, game of the year kind of thing. And then I feel gaming is subjective. I've always said it. We've all said it. So I'd say it's just not fair for us to choose just one game of the year. So we're just going to pick out our best picks of 2021, what our personal best picks are, and we'll just discuss it and why it was. So, so we'll just go along the three of us, and have it. I would also like to challenge you, the listeners on Twitch, to kind of give us y'all's games that y'all played and why you loved it. And we'd like to see what's up. So let's get this started. Let's go with Lex.
Okay.
What was one of your game of the years that you liked, that you played this year?
So I think what's interesting too is the listeners, if you guys don't know, we all kind of have, Smitty and I are similar in what we like. But me and Davis, I feel like, are worlds apart from what we enjoy. I feel like every time I like a game, he's like, nah, that sucks. So
what? Maybe one time that I did that.
Nothing I like. Star Trek sucks. You don't like my games. I don't want to talk to you. No, I'm kidding. But I would say my first game of the year choice that I picked, probably DB Deathloop if I got to play it, but I'm on PlayStation 5. So I'm going to go with It Takes Two.
You can play Deathloop on PC, right?
No, it's not out yet.
Really?
It will be out on the Xbox Game Pass, but it's contractual with PlayStation that it's there, and it will not come out till 2022 next year. So
really?
Wow. I did not know that.
No, because you were like, it's on PC, and I looked, I was like, no, it's not. We had a whole text conversation about it, because I asked you, I was like, isn't it on Game Pass? Why can't I find it? And then we found out
it's not on Game Pass. It is on PC, I'm pretty sure, I thought.
Well, okay,
we'll
figure it out. Lex, what was your...
Does it got small? Well, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, well, Lex, what was your... Okay, so you said It Takes Two?
Yeah, It Takes Two. I got to play It Takes Two with, it's on Steam, but not on Game Pass. Apologies. I didn't want to pay for it on Steam.
Okay.
It Takes Two was everything my little child heart could ever want in a game. The storyline was fantastic. I didn't get annoyed with things. They didn't give me unnecessary information. The side quests were delightful and fun. It was great because I also liked this aspect of it. So Ducky bought it. and then he could send me basically like a friend join in. So I only had to download a partial thing that was free, and he could invite me to be the secondary player with him, which was really cool. They could have made both players purchase the game. They didn't. And it was just everything about it, from the visuals to the side quest to the storyline. I felt like everything was so complete. It was a pretty little present with a beautiful bow on the outside, and I loved every second of it. I think if they come out with more, I'm absolutely going to play it. The games were fun. The bad guys were hysterical. When it ended, I wanted more. And I feel like a lot of games lately don't leave me wanting more. And if I don't want more, I'm probably not going to pick it up. So I really enjoyed this. And even though I am not really a controller person anymore, it still gave me the aspect to play with keyboard and mouse. Everything integration as far as like visually for me, because I don't see well. Hi, I'm a robot. I was able to change like my screen aspect ratio, all of the internal things as far as like I have to have closed captioning on. And I wanted that for the story because the story is so integral to the game. I liked that I could not only have captions on, but I could turn them yellow. I could put like a background bar on it if I wanted. I could pause and like go back and read if I needed to, if I missed something. If he and I were talking over, the game. It was beautiful, and I absolutely enjoyed it. I would love to play it again. I would play it again multiple times, honestly, if I had it.
I've never played the game, but I have seen people play it, and the experience of it looks like it's really fun. So, especially when I saw some of the boss fights. I think I saw you and Turducken was playing it one round of it. I think I saw you when y'all beat it, and
probably.
And it was it looked like y'all were having the time of your life though. So it was so I definitely would agree that it looks like a really fun game, and I believe it won Game of the Year at the Game Awards last night.
Yes, it did. Is this the same developers that did it? No Way Out.
No Way Out. Well,
or No Way Out.
It was published by EA, but it was a completely different studio that did it because it was that did this. Yeah,
this is what that reminds me of, and I remember I did play that. I haven't played this yet, but I played that. And I remember I played that with Smitty, and we had a blast playing that game. Games like this are cool where it's just the two people or something of that style. But I heard story wise, it's really good. The graphics look great. It just looks like a fun game to play with somebody else, and then to boot, it's got an amazing story to go along with it. Like this, good for stuff like this. I like to see that, and I'm glad that this is definitely one I'll pick up.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I think you and I, Smitty, should do it because I know we'd be yelling at each other.
You have to work together. Like you absolutely have to. Each character does totally different things.
Yeah.
You gain more usage of your powers as you further go.
Yeah.
And so it was really funny because, you'd be having to go through a tube, which is my part, and I'd have to carry him along. And if I kept screwing up, we'd have to keep starting over. So it's a lot of laughs. And I don't think that it gets you too frustrated. Like, you're not mad at your partner at any point.
Yeah.
I don't think Ducky and I ever got irritated. There were a few times where I was like, hey, I think we missed something. Do you mind if we go back? He was like, no, let's do it. We did miss a few mini games. But other than that, like we pretty much completed it. And again, I absolutely love the fact that I didn't have to buy the game to play with him. He just had to send me an invite. I had to do a quick little download. I think it took me less than 5 minutes. And I was live when I did that download because I didn't know. And it didn't take any time at all. And we just had so much fun. I've never heard Turducken laugh so much, except when we were playing that. It was so fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's definitely a good pick. I would.
So that's my first choice.
That's a good one. I mean, like, but I'm actually curious though. Like, what, like you said, you and I are far apart. Like, what have I said to you that I was like, I didn't like this game, or gave you a hard time on the?
I'm trying to think of what it was.
I think the only one I could think of was like rain, something Risk of Rain or something. Was it?
Oh yeah, you didn't like Risk of Rain. I don't think you cared for Void Bastards either.
Oh yeah, I definitely did not.
You did not like Void Bastards. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the games that I like that are continuous, like Void Bastards, you don't really care for, which is fine.
No, I love Void Bastards. Like,
dude, Void
I play
Bastards
that.
Is shit.
Yo, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. You're on the same page.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
I don't care for Final Fantasy.
You're right. You're right.
I love Final Fantasy too. I love them all. I love everything.
I was just one. Yeah, I know you do. You are. You should change your name to Mr. FOMO, dude. Seriously.
I feel like I got on the train late for Final Fantasy. I would probably like it, but I feel like at this point, that's too much for me to do.
It's not true.
Yeah, they're just getting reported back over to PC, aren't they? 1 through 7.
I guarantee you, I can guarantee you that you can play. There's a game that came out back in the 90s that I would suggest for you to play now that you would enjoy, and that is, and obviously it would be Chrono Trigger.
Yes.
I think there's no way that you would hate Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger is amazing.
Wishbone.
Well, I would love to do Wishbone, but the problem is Wishbone's a time when Windows was smaller than DOS.
Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah, but I would
another thing you didn't care for was Kingdom Hearts.
Oh well, oh god,
I never played that.
We won't talk about that.
I could do days for that on my hatred for that game. But yeah, you're right. You're right. But hey, like I said, it's like I'm not saying that you're wrong. You may be with that one, but that's a good one though. I like It Takes Two. I would love to.
I will murder you in the other room. You stop that.
And congratulations to the team over there too for winning the Game Award, best game of the year.
Good job, Hazel.
Well earned.
No
Good
kidding.
job, Hazel.
Actually, I think they've done something that no one has done in the Game Awards. And that's an indie. This is essentially an indie game, and then it's won the best game of the year, which is showing something in my opinion. I think,
absolutely, it is.
Yeah, so I think that I think that is a good step on showing that you don't have to be a AAA studio, even though EA did publish it. They didn't put hundreds and millions of dollars in development of this game. So I think it just shows if you give good gameplay, good story, and everything, it will come together essentially. Yeah. Dog says not to play sides, but Kingdom Hearts is hot garbage.
I never played any of them, but I know there's a lot of people that do enjoy the Kingdom Hearts.
I am not going to say or deny on what the things, but I just think that I think that they did them dirty. I think Kingdom Hearts did their fans dirty with this delay. So, anyways, I digress. Let's go with Smitty though. Smitty, what is one of your picks of the year?
All right, my first one up for me. I was anticipating this one a lot, and I was very happy when it came out. It was out on Game Pass, but. You know it as
Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends. Hashtag sponsored ad. Don't forget, use code 12 minutes.
Use
I forgot about 12 minutes.
Use code Classic Smitty on the Raid Shadow Legends. That would be the best thing to go.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh,
dude,
God.
12 minutes. This was highly anticipated by myself. I remember seeing it originally. Then when they basically announced what the cast was and everything musically, this game was fantastic. It was, basically you're playing in this one room throughout the game. There's not a lot, sort of, yeah. Essentially the same. You're confined to the same area for the most part. Not really, but kind of.
Yeah.
And just this way, number one, it being a top down, I feel like is a very interesting point of view that we don't get a lot of, or maybe there are. I just feel like I haven't really played top down games in a long time, so I felt like that was an interesting dynamic, and it being more of a just how much the dialogue and what's going on with the story as things unfold. And then you just basically have to break down, all right, I got to do something different, you keep looping back again. This looping factor that we keep, I felt like was a pretty common theme, or one of the themes of this year. So I love this game. It was so much fun. I need to go back. I would like to play it and get some of the other endings. I did get one of the endings. But if you haven't, this is on Game Pass too. So I felt like all of a sudden it came out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden they were just like, oh yeah, by the way, 12 Minutes comes out tonight. I was just like, it was crazy.
Wait, you only got one ending?
Got the phone. I only did the one ending. I have to move on. I got too many games to not. I had to move on.
I mean, come on, Lex. You can't deny it. He has so much Raid Shadow Legending to do. It wasn't even.
True. Priorities.
You just can't be behind it. Exactly. But I will say this though, because like I still haven't played this game. I wanted to. I've been wanting to play this when it was initially announced. 3 years ago? It's been in like production for a long time, but like I never have been able to do anything about that. So. But yeah, this time I did watch some playthroughs. I did enough, so it didn't ruin me. But
you watched for a few minutes when I was playing.
Yeah, but like it looks like the game definitely is up my alley, though. I'm glad that
this didn't get nominated for more awards. To be honest,
I have I don't know what they do with these nominations. Sometimes these nominations, it's like they really did get snuffed out. I will say, but like even for like indie developer though, like I'm surprised like this wasn't like you're right. Well, it's not even indie because dude, they had some hard names on there. William Dafoe, like basically the voice acting cast is all like A-list actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy. But no, this game looks like it would have been funny. Ravage and Ruin says, got defoed. Yeah. But like, no, I totally agree. I think the style of storytelling has been long lost for a long period of time. That's top down, focuses on one on single rooms, and you don't need to move around a lot, but there's a lot of stuff that you can do in it, which is an incredible thing. Something that you haven't seen for a very long time. So no, I mean, I'm looking forward to playing this when I get a chance to. But yeah.
I played this. This would have been on my list, but I kind of assumed Smitty would call it out. There are 7 different endings, and they are all different. Yeah.
Wow.
But then there are different achievements on top of that. What I liked about it while streaming it live was the fact that everyone in chat kind of had ideas. Nobody had looked anything up, but like Chrissy would come in and she's like, why don't you try this? So we kind of had fun murdering him a lot. Or I would accidentally murder him like multiple times and not realize. I was like, why am I starting over? Oh, I electrocuted his ass. My bad. So it was really interesting. And then like there was like one ending that I can't say. I'll give it away. Anyways, it was a lot of fun. I liked the achievements. They weren't silly, but you could easily get them done while also trying to loop and make sure that you were getting the information that you needed to get to further progress the storyline, which I liked. And I replayed it 3 times, and I did multiple different techniques to see if I could then achieve the same outcomes. And I really liked that. It was fun. It's like a murder mystery the whole time. To an extent, there's more to it than that, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and I really did like that game. And the thing is Willem Dafoe doesn't just play one character; he plays 2, and I don't think people understand that. That got lost in translation a few times because the police officer plus the other character he plays is the same voice. So people are like, "Wait a minute! I thought that XYZ," and it's like, no, he's playing 2 different characters. Oh, I get it. You know what I mean?
Oh, so is there other situations where he's talking to himself as 2 different characters? Like it's like here's him, A's talking to B, but he's still the same person. Oh, okay.
No, but that's I think what got confusing with people is because he does do 2 different voices, but they're never in the same room and they're not on the same plain. That's the only thing I can say.
Oh, okay. So is this like he's playing multiple voices, but does he not do enough to change the voice itself?
He does not change the voice. He just does his normal voice.
He's wearing the foe.
Yeah. It's like, hey, didn't we hear him just earlier? It's like,
nope. It's the phone. That's what you get.
Yeah. But I liked that game. I would play it again. It's good. It's good.
You got the phone.
Yeah, it's like reading a really good book. Is what I feel like. That's the best way I can describe playing this game. It was like reading a really good book that you felt like you were just a fly on the wall, helping to influence these decisions and seeing these different branches and directions that this story is going in, and all these possibilities that you don't even know exist that are over here that you're working your way to get to. Yeah. Highly recommend this game. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous game. I wish it got more recognition from the awards.
Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, it's really hard for me to take the awards seriously because, like, I don't know. It's hard. Like, when you see the list of, like, because we saw the list prior to the awards, they're like, how the hell is this even on here as Game of the Year? You know, like, for instance, Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank was a good game, but I would say it's Game of the Year, Game of the Year quality, especially since it didn't take much to, like, you know, to beat it and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, so like with games like this to be, like, I don't want to be on the soapbox on it, but the Game of the Year is like, clearly this is a very fun game. I'm definitely going to play it. Maybe when it's on sale at this point, because it's going to be hard for me to just say to justify it. No, that's a good pick. I like that.
Just get Game Pass for a month.
I will say, because I said I knew what you were going to say, but this was not one of them. I totally forgot about this one.
One of them. Okay,
that was one of the three. But the two other ones, I think I got. I think
you know one. I think you know one. I think you're wrong about the other.
You really? Okay. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Yeah. All right. My turn is going to be very interesting. It's going to be one that most people would never think that I would actually choose, because apparently I'm a game snob in Lex's eyes.
Yes.
You're not even denying it, which is terrible. Oh,
got him.
Oh, okay. But anyways, yeah, I like to play a lot of different kinds of games. I like playing a lot of story-driven games. So multiplayer games are usually, you're right. Escape from Monkey Island. I'm back from 1990s. It's back. Yeah. So like, I like to play a lot of story-driven games. So it's usually, obviously first-person shooters are not going to be on my thing, or shooters are not going to be on my thing. Multiplayers are not going to be on my thing. But I will say this. I will say that one of them that actually just caught my interest, that I am so surprised how much I've been loving it, was Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear Strive. The fighting game of Guilty Gear Strive is just like, I've just been playing a lot of it, and just a time for the anime. And I've just been getting so good on it. Crystal says I am a game snob. How dare you? But anyways, Crystal. So Strive is one of my favorite. Is going to be definitely one of the three games I definitely loved playing. This year. It's now the thing about it is just like the animation of it, and then your characters, just all the stuff that you're doing in it. I used to play a lot of fighting games back in the day when I have a chance and stuff, but like this time around, I try the time when I do play with, like, there's when you just want to go, when you get home and you're just wanting to play, but you don't want to, you don't care. You don't care what's in there. You don't want to think while you play. You just want to get yourself out and just immerse. Exactly. This is what Strive is for me. It's like, it's not only that, but it's just like I have to figure out how to do combos, mixing up and stuff like that. The game is just very beautiful. A lot of good husbandos and waifus in it, so I'll definitely say that. But the thing about it, what makes it real fun is just the comboing, just the system itself. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. It's very technical, and very forgiving. So, like, for me, when me having a reason to play with a fight stick just casually and on the thing, and just playing online and just playing with random people. But the biggest thing I think that really sets this apart from any of the other Guilty Gears is that this is the introduction of a thing called rollback netcode. If y'all know what that is. So basically what rollback netcode is that it's for the longest of time it's one of the hardest games to play online, especially when you're playing people throughout the world, is the netcode. So if you're in a place that has very limited connection and then you're playing Tekken to someone in the US, there's always going to be a loss of translation. It's lossless. Like you're just going to when you do a button input, the input may not have registered correctly online. So just like, and since it's a fighting game, you're doing literally like thousands of different movements. You're pressing forward and stuff like that. It has to be reacting. So what rollback netcode is that it's been around for a long time, but it's never been implemented in like gaming, like video fighting games to as much as it has been this past like couple of years. So the rollback netcode allows like someone with a bad connection to still put those button inputs and allow better delay, like better inputs inside the online. So what's weird about it is not really weird, but what's cool about it is that theoretically, there still is a problem with lag and delay and stuff, but the delay on that netcode is a lot better than what we've had in the past 10, 20 years of online gaming. So I will say that. Tell Jim.
Me too. I'm blind, dang it.
Oh, that's freaking hilarious. But yeah, that's why I really liked Guilty Gear. I mean, besides the look and the style of it, it just I still play it occasionally when I have time. And now since my girl Biking is going to be coming next month, I'm definitely going to be playing some more of it. So I don't know. See, I know this is definitely not y'all's kind of game. So, but what do y'all think? Like, I mean, the look of it.
You don't know me. You don't know me. Sweet.
Oh, come on, Smithy.
Nah, I'm playing. No, it's not really. It's not really my type of game. You're admitting to it. Some fighting games. Don't get me wrong. You saw what I did. You saw me playing fighting games. You got beat by me at fighting games. And then I beat that guy. And then I beat the guy.
Would you beat that guy in that one thing?
That was Marvel versus Capcom, I think is what I was playing. Got worked by Cyclops.
Okay.
It was fantastic. No, this looks super cool. And I know that you were, I remember you've talked about this quite a few times as far as with the game. And you're not the first person I've heard talk about it, especially about the net rollback code and all that stuff. So, as long as I feel like if people are having a good experience with it, again, I'm not familiar with the Guilty Gear series. So I don't know, as far as that community, what they're saying, what's going on, or what their previous games are to be able to compare this game to. So I feel like that would be kind of unfair of me to be able to do, but it looks gorgeous. I mean, I would, if it was in front of my face, I would play it.
Yeah, I think if you just watch it, I mean, I think just normally watch the whole thing itself. It's just a good experience to watch overall, So like, I think that I just think that this was one that I think that I will always will hold something for me through the age of gaming. So I mean, we'll see. We'll definitely see. So but yeah, that's one of my favorites this year. Okay, so what about you? Like, I'm surprised here inside the chat that no one plays fighting. Does anyone play fighting games? Is it just me, or like does anyone else do at all? You do? I know you played Mortal Kombat.
I grew up playing Mortal Kombat with my friends. She kicked my ass every time, and it irritated me. But I played Injustice and Injustice 2 a lot. I love fighting games. I hate 3 rounds, though. Like, 2 is good. You don't need to do 3. Once it's 3, my hands are dead. I squeeze that controller so hard. I've tried to learn not to, but I can't. And he's right. I do need a gaming stick if I want to play fighting games again. Nothing's really caught my eye as far as fighting games. I'm not even that much of a DC fan, but I like Injustice 2 and I liked how it worked. This game looks cool. It's very anime. That's kind of not my style. But how many rounds does it have? Is it like a 2 round or 3?
You could change it to it's 2 rounds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 rounds. You mean in one match? Yeah, it's 2 rounds.
And that's the thing that you don't know. That's my secret. Is I actually love fighting games. I'm just not great at them, and I don't play them very often. But no, and not that I'm not good at them. Like I'm decent at them, but like some of these games, like they will get you in juggles to where you never touch the ground again, and you've got to know technically how to get out of stuff like that. Like that kind of technicality, I'm like, nah, dude. Let me hit some buttons and do some cool things. Make the lights come up, make me look like a badass, and make me feel like a badass. I'm gonna enjoy this game. But like that dude, like the Power Rangers one, I want to play the Power Rangers one.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
I love Tekken. Like I used to play Tekken religiously and just stop. Again, people got too good. Same with Street Fighter. Used to play that religiously, and
every
people
day.
just. Yeah, I'm just like, nah.
You just need to play with someone that's You just need to play with someone that's in the same kind of the same kind of space that you're in. You don't want to be playing like it's like Smitty versus Daigo. It's like no, you don't want that. That
would be so unenjoyable. But I am, speaking of like Kickstarters and stuff. There's a game called Five Force Fighters. Take a look at that. But he was on this show. He was on LAN parties, and he actually came out here to Vegas. Him and his brother Bless. It's him, Blessed, and his brother that created this game. It's lots of diversity in it, and it's just a fun kind of bubbly kind of fighter game, but like lots of action. The animation looks great, but it's something definitely I actually supported them on their I think Patreon or something.
Oh, cool.
Just because it was something cool that they're working on and whatnot. So, I like things that are more casual like that. Same with Smash, but at the same time, Smash has its technical things.
I don't count Smash as a fighting game, though.
I like all the characters. Like, that's why, you know what I mean? Like, all the different characters, in this universe coming together to fight. Like, that's a lot of fun for me. But when you break it down to the technical aspect, like, I'm not trying to go that route with fighting games. It's too much.
Well, see, if you want to play Street Fighter and you give me Blanca, like, it is game over. Your character will not touch the ground. You will be electrocuted nonstop, and you're going to be pissed that you played me. That's all I'm saying. On my original Sega Genesis, I will whoop some
You played Street Fighter on the Sega?
Oh, my God.
That is terrible.
Can easily handle. I'm pretty sure his low kicks can actually hit Blanca, right? I think I wanted to say.
Y'all are both talking about a game that came out back in 1992.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
That's all. Let's go.
That's
man, that's funny.
I'll stop talking.
But on the Sega Genesis, though, that's pretty. Do you play on three controller, the 3-button or the 6-button controller?
Because I can.
You play on the 3-button. What?
Yeah.
Okay, we're done. Lex, go.
We're done.
Lex,
we're gonna have to let you go.
What is your favorite? What is your favorite favorite game this year?
Okay. I picked Back 4 Blood. I've been waiting for this game forever. So it's basically the next game. And I'm drawing a blank now. I love Back 4 Blood. The original, I played nonstop at my buddy's house. I had no business being over there late nights while I was in college, trying to write 20-page papers, and I'm sitting there playing video games at his house because I could not afford an Xbox. But Back 4 Blood is on PC as well. It's cross-platform, I believe. And I had a blast. There were a lot of people who were super critical of certain weaponry. Honestly, I didn't have those issues. I don't know if... Thank you, Left 4 Dead. So Left 4 Dead and now Back 4 Blood. I didn't really have the issues that a few people I had heard complain about as far as the weaponry. I liked it. I thought things were balanced pretty well. I played it right from the get out, and me and my group of friends were having a lot of fun, and it was a blast. I enjoyed it. I thought the effects looked really cool. I will say, from somebody who cannot see a lot of white writing, when you are in your beginning phase, I can't really see what each little vendor does. So that took me a little bit to get used to. I did like the card aspect so that you could kind of have like a power up for that round. At first, again, it was in white writing. It was a little hard for me to see, but my friend was patient with me and he explained things and it worked out. He's kind of like, yeah, it's like Dead by Daylight where you can, go in with a health pack similar. And I liked that it wasn't necessarily just for your character, but maybe a boost for the people in your party, which was really nice. The main boss, I haven't gotten too far. I'm waiting for my friends to be like, yes, let's sit down with lots of coffee and snacks and play all night. The first boss fight, when he came out, I was like, oh, yes, this is fantastic. Yeah. And I was the lure, so I ran out as bait. I was like, come get me, big guy. It was fun. I really did like the weaponry. I didn't think it was pretty much like Smitty said earlier, like riding a bike. It wasn't complicated or over convoluted. I liked that you could have a secondary. And that secondary didn't necessarily have to be a gun. It was a lot of fun, and I liked the progression of things. I also liked the fact that you have to be sneaky, which for blind ass me is a little hard. So my friends would be like, Lex, there's birds. I'd be like, oh, okay. And I'd crouch. But it was a lot of fun and I enjoyed it.
It's funny with Back 4 Blood. I know there's a lot of mixed criticism for it. But for all of it is, it's the Left 4 Dead sequel for it. It does it didn't really introduce anything new to that kind of system. It's just more like it's more updated to, modern time, like graphical wise. Cause when did Left 4 Dead come out? Like 2009, 2008? It was a long time on the 360.
A long time ago. I was in college.
Yeah, it was a really long time ago. And they basically made this to give those people what they were wanting for a long period of time, which is fine. For me, because like when they initially announced this, I was hyped to get this game and to play it and stuff like that. But then when time kind of came on forward, I was starting to like kind of try to find a reason to justify it myself. The game is, like I said, there's nothing wrong with the game. It did what I wanted it to do, which is basically just kill some zombies and just run away from them and go in hordes and stuff. Did that perfectly well. But it's definitely a game that I think was like when I saw it, I'm like, oh, cool. It was like, but will I pay $60 for this myself? And I ultimately said no, but I think it was a perfect game. I think this came out day one on Xbox Game Pass, right?
If I remember correctly. That's why I've not canceled my subscription yet.
Perfect game for that. I think that this would be like the kind of introduction to be like, okay, I know that no one's going to be willing to spend that kind of cash, but it is a good game for like multiplayer for everyone to come out to go try it out and to and say, oh wow, we had a great time like going through these hordes and stuff without paying a grip, a $60 grip for it. Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I personally think like it definitely did its job for what it was for what it was worth. I'm not taking anything out of it. It is a fun game. It's like I would suggest people if you want to have a fun multiplayer experience to play this. So go, yeah. So that, I guess that's what I would say with it. What about you, Smitty?
Yeah, I was very hyped on this, especially playing in beta and whatnot. I do have Game Pass, and I do have this game, and I just haven't gotten around to playing it. It wasn't very high on my list. And for me, this is more of a game. I'm not going to play a game like this by myself. I'd rather play a game like this with people, with friends, having that experience. This is not the type of game that I just go around and do by myself. I'm not that brave. So, but I really, from what I played, I would like to check out the multiplayer. I actually thought the multiplayer was a really cool concept. And getting to try that, I haven't seen what it's evolved into since it's actually came out. But yeah, this was I'll get on it, but this would be hard to justify spending, especially full price for a game like this. Especially if you didn't have friends to play with, I can see where it'd be harder to make that choice. But yeah, this is a solid game. The gunplay is fun. This is exactly what it says it is. And it is exactly what it is. And it's fun. If this is your kind of thing, then you're going to really, really enjoy this.
Big time.
It's a really good outlet too for like anger. Honestly, like if you are having a crappy day and you just want to shoot some fools and not feel bad about it, this is your game. I will disagree with Davis on one thing. He said it's updated to our time, but not really changed. The maps are different. Where things are placed is different. And I will say the addition, or rather the change of the major zombies, not the big boss, but the little bosses in between mixed in with the hordes that, blow up or like vomit on you or grab you. Those guys are different and they do different things, which I thought, it's kind of hard to take a zombie and make it different, right? And I think the things that they did do are ingenious. I would have never thought of that. I'd been like, it's a freaking zombie. What are you going to make it do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, the boomers from Left 4 Dead, I loved them. I thought they were hysterical. You would hear them coming. There's kind of a similar character now, but he does something different. But yeah, I think they did a great job, and I really enjoyed it. I want to play more of it. My crew is all in Canada, and I'm on a different time zone.
The gang. Okay, cool. Good job. Good one. You might have to cut this down to just our two apiece. Because I didn't think of it. I told you we can talk about that. We talk about games all day, but we'll see. We'll see.
I'll rattle off these last two. Then
I'll figure it out.
You can do it. I'll skip my third.
Yeah, because we all knew this was coming. This is the one that Davis. Yeah, this is the one that we knew Davis was going to get for sure. Obviously, I just got done finishing it a little bit ago, but my I would say in number 2 would have to be Deathloop for me. That game was just so cool. Everything about it, the game mechanic within the looping, another looping game, was really cool. The characters and the acting were so much damn fun. I love that so much of the game and just being a part of that story and seeing how this story played out. I did say that I was left a little empty feeling at the end of this game, and I would say that would be the only thing that negatively I was kind of like, I expected a little more than this. But other than that, I mean, it's a gorgeous game. The music, Tom Salta, I don't know who ended up winning that. Cause I know he was up for an award for the music for this as well, but everything about this was cool, and I felt like this was a great being able to play it on PlayStation 5, and the controller. It kind of brought the game even more to life. Juliana would speak out of the controller, and just cool little nuances like that helped to tell the story better. And just that whole time period with it being based like almost like around the 1970s, this felt like I was playing or like basically like watching or playing Lost is what it felt like. It was awesome. I loved it.
Okay. I will say that with Deathloop itself, I mean, the concept of it was really cool. The execution of it was really cool. And I definitely love the fact that it wasn't like, dare I even say if this is original for FPS? I mean, it's pretty far-fetched out there to a point on like how they did it with their execution and everything. Cause like, they gave you multiple ways of killing the same individual, the group that you're going after. 1, 2, they allowed you to have to fight against another possible real player that's hunting you while you're playing in game time to finish your objective, which is like
really annoying.
I know, right? I mean, and it's is it fully now? I don't know if it changes. Like, is it fully like randomly generated, or like I don't know how any of that works. I've never played this either. I haven't played this year either.
Oh, I don't want spoilers.
I just think that Well, I just think overall, originally, I think this game is definitely gets its acclaim. Its acclaim for what you have to do in this. I mean, this is what I think it's very, very fun. It's a very fun move. And I'm surprised because this is a Bethesda game, and usually I really, really hate Bethesda's, but still go. Yeah, but no, I think
they did a really good job. Yeah, they did a really good job with it. Highly recommend if you get a chance to play it. I would say pick it up and play it. It is definitely worth the play. I still have some things that I need to go back and do for the game. so I plan on doing it. But yeah, I would say that. And very quickly, because I'm going to say it, I don't give a shit. My number one.
Before you do that, I will say, like, you're right. That was one of them, but I need to the next one that I think you're going to choose is kind of iffy. I think because it's kind of borderline, but I feel like you would try to be enough to do it to just say it is. But continue on. Let's see if
my number one for the year for sure had to have been Mass Effect. It's too good. It was so good. I had a blast playing it. I still need to finish this. What do you mean how? What do you mean how?
I'm not saying.
What do you mean how?
I was kind of
you weren't even close.
I was kind of like saying you would say no. It's not the game that I thought you would choose. I thought you would have chosen Halo Infinite, but I would say, man, I don't even know if I would consider.
Dude, what are you saying?
Because it's a game. It's just a collector's edition of a game that came out. Games that came out.
I never played it before. Ago. It's the first time I ever played it.
How dare you
I thought you played it before.
No.
You never did? Your first time?
I've never played any of the Mass Effects.
Oh, I thought you did.
Yes, that was my first experience of Mass Effect. And it was freaking amazing. And if you haven't played it, you do yourself a favor and pick that up. Because I've only done the first one so far, but I heard it only gets better and better from there. And the first one was a shit ton of fun. I was surprised, just the type of game it is. It was such I mean, that had to have been like just mind-blowing of a game at the time that it originally came out. You know what I mean? And it's still at that point being able to see that and play it and experience it. Yeah, I had to go. I had to go Mass Effect. It was good. I loved it. Did Deathloop won Best Game Direction and Best Art Direction? Like it should have. That's exactly what it should have done. Good.
I can't wait to play it. So wait, I'm curious, Davis. What do you think is my third choice? If you
thought I was going to say probably Mario Party. Oh wait, no, he said Infinite.
No, I said Infinite, man.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Well. I don't know what I really don't know what's your third one. You're not as predictable as Smitty. That's the problem.
Predictable. You were 1 for 3, son.
Oh, you guessed 2 for me, but I think that was it.
Yeah,
you got right.
Yeah, I knew yours was It Takes Two. I wasn't sure what your other ones were, but like I just thought that It Takes Two would have been the one that you would love. What it says, Davis' eyes roll so far back in his head that his skull is legally bulging. That's pretty true. I don't know. Sweeney's more open on the book, an open book. Like, can you even guess? What my? Okay. Well, one of them I don't think you would know.
You've only said
he probably likes Pokemon Snap or something like that.
Yeah,
you're the one that wanted to play. Someone didn't one of y'all two wanted to play Pokemon Snap.
No,
I don't understand why people would want to watch that.
I'm sorry, Smitty. What do I hate doing in video games?
Taking pictures. See, all of this about Lex, apparently her coworker.
Whatever. Anyways, before I so rudely interrupted it, and y'all just be dicks to me for the rest of this podcast. It's Genshin Impact. I love spending money.
Yours is going to be something crazy. I feel like I do what it is, but I don't remember what the name of it is.
What are the ninja games that he was playing all year?
Okay, one of them is one I know you would never get. And that was you didn't get I'm pretty sure you didn't think Guilty Gear was going to be on there. I would say one of my favorite, the second favorite I had this year was Metroid Dread.
Okay.
I would guess that. If I give more thought to it.
I forgot. I totally forgot that you played that too.
Yeah, I played that. The first time I played it was at Extra Life, and then I was like, we literally played that. I think I played that for like 3 or 4 hours, and I was having a time of my life in that game. It was really, really fun. So no, Metroid Dread is just like reminds me of old school Metroid, man. And it's short, but it's really, but it fills my time. Like it fills my time perfectly for it. So like all the
full price tag.
Oh yeah, worth the full price tag. No question. Well, all all the Metroid 2D games to me have always been very consistent. They've never really been failed, or even the Prime games, man. The Prime games have always been very good too. So like, and for some reason, it's more popular here in the US than it is in Japan. But like I loved Metroid. I love the series. Just brought me back to playing like the old school Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. But like all the stuff that they added, the new stuff that they did, like the monster that's chasing you and making it hard to parry the big thing that's also going that's attacking you and stuff. Very fun. Very meticulous, and then if you want to 100% it, you really have to earn it. Like there's like some weird puzzles that you have to do just to get the full missile tanks and stuff. So no, this definitely is up my alley. So Metroid Dread is definitely my number 2 this year. Loved every bit of it. Were y'all ever fans of Metroid, or did y'all ever play a Metroid game or anything like that?
I did, but I'll be honest, it's a time frame of my life where I don't have a lot of memory of it. But I do see flashes of me playing it as a kid. But yeah, I've got a huge gap of like 5 years of like I don't remember people or what was going on or any of that. But I know I played it. I have it.
You have Metroid Dread?
No,
Metroid.
One of the
Super Metroid, old school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have Metroid. Yes. I know I enjoyed it. My dad will bring it up. He's like, "Remember when you used to?" And I'm like, "Nope." Sorry, brain surgery. Remember? He's like, "Oh yeah." No, it looks really cool. That would be definitely a game that I would play for sure.
Yeah, I love Metroid, dude. I literally took, or I think I used Samus as my character in Super Dating Simulator, the show that that my buddy of them does. Yeah, straight up, dude. I totally made it to the second round. She's a badass, dude. Like, who doesn't know? I mean, for the most part, like, this is an iconic Nintendo character. The fact that there's a new iteration of it, and I fell off from it. I haven't played it since like Super Metroid. So like, I don't think I played because I never had a GameCube, and I certainly never got it for the Wii. And this would be, you know what I mean? This would be the next thing, and I didn't have a Wii U. So this, you know, like enough. Got some catching up to do. But yes, this game, Dread. And I'm pretty sure this game won awards last night as well.
I'm pretty sure it did too. Better of, but yeah. Donk, how much is Metroid Dread? Since it's a Nintendo game, it's probably full price, so $60. Yeah. Yep.
Plus
so
one soul.
Plus one soul. All right. The final game. Guess what my game would be? See, there you go. Yeah.
Seafood.
I'm all over the place. Seafood isn't even out yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to playing that.
I have to.
I know what it is, but I can't think of the name. You were playing it recently when it came out. You were waiting for the copy to be sent to you.
No, it's not. It's not Tales of Arise. It's not Tales of Arise.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like where the mine's going. That's pretty good. That's a good one.
Nice. It's
Paladins. Oh God, no.
Just kidding. It's Raid Shadow Legends.
It's Raid Shadow Legends. If you put the code, shoot me now. Oh my God. Oh,
just tell us, dude, because we're not going to be able to figure it out, are we?
Mine is it's one that probably completely forgot about, but I didn't forget. No, it's not Streets of Rage 4. Streets of Rage 4 came out last year, so no, don't count it.
The Chicken Hut came out last year.
Oh yeah.
Mine was it's Returnal on the PS5.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I could see. Yes. I should have known that. I should have known that.
I remember playing this game and I was like, oh, I loved it. It was just like a great game. Like the full effect of it was just awesome. So no, I was totally hooked on
nice.
On this. So the game itself had everything in it. Like the story was the story didn't really have a strong story side of it, but it was just the gameplay, like of how you were saying on with Deathloop, something new. Like if you die, you have to start from the very, very beginning, like the beginning of the game. Like it was brutal. Really tough. Yeah, it's very brutal. Like if you die, so you all the weapons that you picked up, all of it gone, completely gone, and you have to keys, all that stuff. There's no checkpoints.
Yeah.
Unless there is checkpoints, but you have to earn it and stuff. It was tough.
It's changed since too. They've added an update, I believe, to where you can at least put it in suspended play or something like that. There's some way so it's not as punishing.
Yeah, but
in those respects, I need to go. I still need to finish it.
I would never play it that way, because the way that I played it initially, how it was originally, was just insanely fun. Like freaking out. Oh, do I have enough? Because you get a pause. The parasite system was fun. Where you get something really good, but you have to give something back. Oh, your damage output is 30%, but you can't jump anymore. Or it's something like that.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
it's crazy. You get the boost, but you also get punished.
Yes, exactly.
Not always, though.
I was so surprised that this game was not nominated for anything. The game looks great, looks beautiful, it's fluid. Haptic feedback on PS5 was working perfectly on this. It was and the story, and then when the story came together, you're just like, wow, this is insane, and just different kinds of things of it just made it really fun to play. No, this was definitely my game of the year. I loved when I streamed this earlier this year, I was just freaking out and stuff, and then just so skeptical. The boss fights were fun, and it was just good. I mean, I don't know what was bad. I can't say a bad thing about it. Really, really good.
Nice.
No, you're right. Yeah, and these types of games, I wouldn't necessarily say are my type of games. And this is, obviously I haven't finished it, and it wasn't because it was too much. I just never found the time to really be able to put that much time in. Because you knew if you didn't get to a certain checkpoint, you lose everything and start back. I had at least gotten to that one point, but I was not able to put enough time into progressing from there. So this is very much high on my list of finishing and getting back to and playing. But you're right, the haptic feedback and all that good gobbledygook, beautiful. The soundtrack is dope. The graphics is stellar. I was really surprised. I really felt it was snubbed. This was our first next generation game. I think they knocked it straight out of the park, and it didn't get nearly the love that it should have.
Straight up. Yeah.
It looks cool. I want to play it. I babysit for Smitty. If y'all don't know, Solly will be invading his bedroom to play.
That's it. Yep.
Wake up the baby because I'm screaming because I'm pissed. I got it again now.
I should have guessed it. I should have guessed it. That you. Yeah.
No, I knew y'all would have.
Talked about Returnal
a lot
recently.
We
recently had a conversation about it.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, though, it's at a time where it's it's so far from where we're at now. This game came out in March, April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's totally out of sight, out of mind. It's hard to kind of think of what's all the games that came out this year, and if it was a good game that start. For instance, Horizon Zero Dawn's coming out in
early
February.
Next year.
Yeah, and I bet you by the end of the year we'll probably be we totally forgot this came out this year. Yeah, which by the way, which we should we should definitely do a spoiler cast on that one.
Sure.
I'm totally down with that.
Sure.
Yeah, not to mention GTFO. Oh, GTFO also came out. You're right. Number one mentioned
it officially came out, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Yeah, and that. So it's but those were games over the years itself. I really liked it. I really liked the discussion of fighting games that I actually set up inside the chat too, which is funny. But anyways,
real quick, my third choice just to irritate people was Little Nightmares 2. Okay.
Why was it irritating? That was a good game.
People. Yeah,
I loved it. I had a lot of people that were like, "Why are you playing this?" I was like, "What do you mean?" Because I want to. Duh. No one's behind me with a gun. It was great. The soundtrack was amazing. The graphics were good. The storyline, I cried at least twice, and several times. What the fuck, So it was great. I loved it. That's all.
See, there you go. So
I know we're running out of time.
We finished Little Nightmares not too long ago. We're doing a DLC. Need to finish that DLC, but we're moving. We will move on. There is a DLC for it. Yeah, it's all in the basement.
Did you see?
Or it's in the basement.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. But also,
Yeah.
screw the developers. Those mannequins chasing me were not nice.
Ooh, that's in
You know,
two.
I will chime in. I will chime in on this though. Like, did you see like the preview of the DLC for Cuphead? That looks.
No.
I can't play that game. I try.
I will
can't
never
even
play
beat
that
the
game.
first one. I suck.
What?
I
Come
suck
on.
so bad. I can't beat that. I sit here and scream because it's a controller and I suck. I suck and it makes me so mad. I wish I was good at Cuphead because that is my, it's everything I ever want. I can't do it.
Oh, the look of it.
And it makes me mad.
I've got no
Wow.
desire to try it. I've got zero. Like, I
No
mean, I
desire?
Yeah, not
I
really.
have it.
No.
I don't
do
even
you
know.
really?
I don't want to talk about it.
I love it.
I don't want to talk
That's tough.
about it.
Next,
Yes.
what do you? Since this is our last episode, and I know we're not coming back until January. What do you have planned coming up?
Well, apparently I'm going back and playing a DLC I didn't know about for Little Nightmare. Next week I'm having surgery on my back again. So that'll be fun. Get my booster. I'll usually play games. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing on stream lately. I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. It's also a nice, easy, like, I don't know what I'm going to play tonight. Let me just play some Animal Crossing and, like, chill out just because everything's been so stressful with family and friends. So that's kind of been my go-to. Also, that jerk on Mare Island sells me fake crap all the time, and I'm so mad about it. But yeah, I've been having fun and chilling, and Dustin and I have been having like movie nights together and watching the Hawkeye series. So yeah,
you should
a lot of games.
You should also force to go over to Smitty's house and watch My Cousin Vinny. Apparently, so yeah,
I will.
Okay. Good. All right, good. What about you, Smitty? What do you have planned coming up here?
Apparently watching My Cousin Vinny, and then I don't. I haven't really thought about it. I'm enjoying Infinite. I'm probably gonna play that tonight. I should be starting stream 9 minutes ago. But that's neither here nor there. And I think I'm probably gonna move forward with Halo 2. I'm gonna play that. I'm not gonna play that on stream though. And I still needed. The idea was to try to finish In Sound Mind tonight. I might try to still do that, but I kind of just feel like going pew 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 and just I don't really feel like having to think a lot.
Where your heart tells you to, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see if I can't get another time in as far as with that. And then, just chilling out, probably move forward. I'm excited, to take a break and chill out. So again, we thank you guys for another fantastic year, for hanging out with us. Obviously, we'll be on the socials. We're looking to do some changing up of things and kind of freshen up the cast as well, too. So appreciate it. We hope you guys have a safe holiday season and enjoy all the things. So
yeah,
I'm
getting fired, so it's fine.
One of us is going to. The whole group is coming back, but one of us will not be back. Can you find out who?
Are you talking about Halo? Yeah, who does not come back?
Season finale. So you can find out you come back. It's like, we got you. No one survived. Everyone survived. But don't worry. Our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, may reveal if you do the code. Who is it?
And also use code ByeByeLex. For an extra character.
My god. Yeah, for an extra character that will be immediately cut. Oh no. No, we're all good. Yeah. No, but no, we all have any we'll be back again next month. I'm just going to be doing what I normally do over at our website. Shameless plug, confreaksandgeeks.com. Con season is coming back, so the bigger thing is it's going to be like trying to fit all that in. I'm going to try to keep it consistent though, because I prefer the podcast more than I prefer going to the cons personally. So hopefully we get.
Are you coming to CES?
You're not going to. Huh?
You love us.
No. Are you coming to CES?
I'm not going to CES this year. I decided to take a break because I think CES is too big of a gamble right now. To be honest with you, way too big. So I decided to just say to stay away from it. And it's funny, but the emails still keep on coming, and I didn't even apply this year.
Of course.
It's hilarious. Yeah. So, but no, maybe another time. But no, I'm going to be just definitely messing around with some tweaks for the CFG games page on Twitch, as well as we're going to be doing some change. Like Smitty was saying, we're going to be doing some changes, hopefully some better improvements over at the CFG GameCast itself, and also our secondary podcast, Pop Culture Gems. We got some really cool stuff coming up on that one. I'm really glad about that. So, we're just definitely gonna have a nice, safe Christmas. Oh, and also chiming in on Lex asking if she did force Smitty to watch My Cousin Vinny, because so that will be another thing though too, because Smitty you need to watch that. It's been 30 years.
I'll watch it. I had no idea there was people and stuff. I've heard of it. I just never got around to watching it. Yeah. I'll check it out. For sure.
The time is now. Although I still, the thing I'm surprised I haven't watched yet was Ghostbusters Afterlife. I've still not seen that yet.
Still haven't seen it. I can't wait. And Spider-Man comes out in 7 days, and I can't wait.
Yes. I'm going to try to watch that within the first few days, dude. Same. I'm definitely not going to opening, but there's going to be too many spoilers out there.
It's weird that I don't know if I'm on the Spider-Man train anymore. Never.
Maybe Spider-Man's not on the Davis train. So, I mean, you got to think about that.
Although I did like the CG one. The CG one was great. Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah, dude. That's coming back too.
Oh God, can't wait till that one comes out.
Yeah,
that was really nice.
What do you mean you don't like Spider-Man? And what's happening? Have you been watching all the shows and stuff?
No, I mean, I've already watched. I've watched them. I watched them. I watched all of them.
Okay.
I'm not saying I hate them.
Not seeing it yet. This is like the beginning of when the MCU came out, and you had no idea that they were building a whole universe thing. You just thought they were just randomly throwing superheroes at you, and then you saw I feel like this is that beginning part again. This is that first cycle for the next phase.
See, but I don't know that Tom Holland hasn't signed back up and all that stuff. So who knows what's going to end up happening with it? Like he had signed back for more Spider-Man. Did they?
3 more movies. Yes.
Did they just recently do that? See, it shows how far back behind I am.
He was on Hollywood talking about it the other day. Come on.
Yeah.
I thought he said because 2 weeks ago he was literally saying that if he was playing Spider-Man while he was 30, he's doing something wrong. That's exactly what he said. So I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, is he done? Like, what's his plan?
I don't know what that means.
What's he going to do?
Young as hell anyway, dude.
He's 25.
He's 25. Yeah, he's 15. Dude, if you want to watch a good Tom Holland movie, seriously, watch this movie called The Impossible. That movie is freaking great. But yeah, no, Tom Holland is a great actor. I definitely respect him on that. But anyways,
all right, he's gonna be friend of Sarah.
Guys, thank you for watching or listening to episode number 117 of the CFG Gamecast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation, as always. We will be back in January, where this is our final episode. If you have not heard it by now, this is our last episode of the year. So we're going to take some time off, be back charged and energized for the brand new year. So guys, thank you so much for checking us out. As always, it's always awesome seeing us grow as a podcast, especially the numbers. I don't know if you saw that on I sent the link with the Spotify thing. The numbers on that is amazing. It's really cool. So I just loved it. So just stay safe, have a happy holidays, just have fun as always. But if you did miss this episode live, that is okay. We always release it out on Mondays on all podcast services like Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radios, what have you, anywhere. So there is no excuse to not listen to our sexy voices.
Except last week.
Yeah, so but be sure to definitely check us out, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, for all the amazing geeky content that we like to do. So once again, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty signing out. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.